Hi guys, I'm Alisha and I'm going to share my story about coming out because a lot of people have asked for it. Before I start, I'm going to warn you that it's not a very interesting or dramatic story, but I'll share it anyways just for the people who would like to know because now it's not really a big deal. I'll start from elementary school. When I was younger, I kind of always was around boys, so I definitely for sure thought I liked boys. I was a tomboy. I liked to play football, and I wrestled, and I played every sport. I had friends that were girls, but I was always with boys. My whole lunch table was all boys, so I definitely surrounded myself with boys. And I did all that all the way up until junior high. And then even in junior high, I just got along better with boys. The first time that I thought that something might be different about me was probably in 8th or 9th grade. I remember being in gym class with a group of guys, and they were just talking about girls. And the more that they talked about girls, the more I became interested in the conversation. And that was the first time that I actually ever thought of girls in that way. But I thought maybe it was just because of who I was around. So I continued dating guys because that's what I knew and that's what I thought I was. And then in 10th grade, I went to Hobie, which was a youth leadership seminar. And before attending there, obviously, I already said, I thought something might be a little different about me. But I just felt like it was hidden. When I went to Hobie, everybody was so accepting. And it wasn't until then that I realized that if something was different about me, I would have people who would accept me. So when I left for Hobie, I was in a relationship with a boy. And when I came back from Hobie, I just realized that how a relationship was supposed to be, I didn't have those type of feelings. I had feelings for him, but nothing was going to come out of the relationship because it was just a friendship. And so I broke up with him, and I just put all thoughts of me being in any kind of relationship in the back of my mind. I just wanted to focus on my school work and my athletics and all my clubs and other extracurriculars. I didn't really have time for a relationship, and I was confused about what I wanted, so I just thought it was best for me not to be in a relationship. After the summer going into 11th grade, I really started noticing things, and that's when I really realized that me liking girls was a real thing. I didn't act upon anything because my whole high school career, I was worried about my image and having a good reputation for my siblings. So I wasn't going to put myself out there and ruin something for my younger siblings. And also, I was an elementary basketball coach, and I helped out with a travel soccer team, and I was in a bunch of clubs. I was track athlete, basketball, and a lot of little kids knew me, and I didn't want a little part of me to define who I was as a whole. So I kind of just let it go once again, and I prayed to God that it wasn't true, because I just wanted to be normal for the sake of my family and I guess you could say the sake of my image, I was worried about it. So at the beginning of my junior year, I was still trying to ignore the fact that I liked girls. And in December, I started talking to a kid, and I just thought it was going to be a friendship. And it ended up the beginning of my senior year. We dated for a month, and once that relationship was over, I knew that I didn't want to be with guys, but also at the same time, I didn't want to be in a relationship with a girl. I kind of just wanted to be by myself and try to figure things out. So for the rest of my senior year, I continued focusing on my sports and my schoolwork, and I thought that when the time came, it would come and I would know for sure if pursuing a girl was something that I wanted, or if I was just confused altogether. Then in August, I left for college, and it was my first time being away from home, obviously, and I was by myself, and I had lots and lots of time to think, and most nights resulted in me thinking too much. I'm not gonna lie, I would cry myself to sleep sometimes. I just had really bad anxiety over the fact that I did like girls, and there was going to come a time that I was going to have to tell everybody in my life that this was real. The thing I feared most was all the relationships that I obtained over the past 19 years. I thought that in the blink of an eye they could all be gone, and that was something that I wasn't ready for. So I thought about it, and then when I came home for winter break, I had this gut instinct that it was time for me to, start small, by telling maybe like my parents. Well, things didn't really go as planned. When I came home for Christmas break, there were bigger issues that my family had to deal with, and that kind of set me back a little bit because there was already something going on in my family, and I didn't want to add more stress onto my parents by informing them that their oldest daughter likes girls. So after winter break, I went back to college for spring semester, and my parents obviously didn't know. I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get to tell them, but at the same time I was relieved because I didn't have to go back to school for, 3 more months, feeling like pressured, or feeling, if my parents wouldn't have dealt with it, my anxiety probably would have kicked back in. So it was probably a good thing that I didn't tell them then. But instead, in May, I met this girl, and I liked her, but I also knew that I couldn't be in a relationship with her until I at least told my parents, my mom. It just didn't feel right, and it was something that I wouldn't do. I tell my mom everything, and she needed to know this before I was going to be in a relationship. So a couple days later, I ended up telling my mom. I wrote her a 3-page letter, and in it didn't say anything about me liking girls. But my sisters were with my mom, and I remember I was laying on my sister's bedroom floor, curled up in a ball, and I was crying, and my sister started guessing things, and she guessed that I like girls, and I said no, I didn't. I kept denying it, and then finally she was like, then what is it? And I said, you already said it. And she's like, you like girls? And I just said yeah. And my mom's like, Alisha, this is completely stupid. Why are you crying about this? And I was like, Mom, like, it's a big deal. And she's like, I still accept you for who you are, and I always will. And from that point on, every time I told somebody, it got easier. Well, it got easy for the most part. There's still 2 people that I had to tell that gave me a lot of anxiety, and that was my brother and my best friend. They're 2 of the closest people, and I just really didn't want to tell them, but I told my brother at Dunkin' Donuts, and there's a group of us, and he took it surprisingly well. I shouldn't say surprisingly well. I knew that he was always going to accept me because I'm his sister, but, like, nothing has changed since he's found out. And then he was my best friend, and that's just because I was so close to her, and I didn't want me liking girls to change the friendship that we had. She was really good about it and said that she was happy that I could finally be myself, and that it didn't change who I was as a person at all, and it didn't define me. So that was another relief. And now pretty much all the people who matter to me know. There's a couple that don't, but I just know with time I'll be able to come to telling them. And since I've told people, I feel a lot better about myself, and I'm not afraid to be who I want to be. And the good news is that the girl I was talking about liking, we are now dating, and we have been dating for a little over a month. So all of you out there who are thinking about coming out, or who are confused, just know that there's always going to be somebody there for you. I can't really say that my experience was that bad. Getting to the point of telling people kind of got bad, but so from a bad point, I can't really speak, but I know somebody. I have faith that somebody's going to be there for you, and if not, I'll always be there for you. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a good day.